Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of Valpo Basketball Weekly. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo women's basketball program, Mary Evans. Valpo Basketball Weekly is presented by our friends at Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute. And Coach, let's talk about maybe what things you're working on improving right now. What are some things you think have to be done to get this turned around and get things back rolling in the right direction?
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time the last week and a half talking about getting back to some basics, really focusing on trying to be better defensively. That's kind of been the main theme. I think, we've been a little bit passive defensively this year. We're not forcing the turnovers we've forced in the past, and which in turn I think has hurt our offense, because I don't think we're getting out on the break. We're not getting those easy layups, or we're not getting those catch and shoot threes in the broken floor. So we've been trying to shore up some things defensively. Last week we talked a lot about ball screen defense, trying to do a better job. There's an aggressive style to our defense, where we're supposed to trap on post entries, we're supposed to trap on baseline drives, and we're supposed to try to make plays when the ball is passed out of those things. And we've been really harping on that, as well as just talking to this team about remembering what it takes to win college basketball games. I think, talking to one of my mentors, he said, this is the hard part. Your team learned what to do and how to win. But sometimes when you do that, you forget how you got there. And I think we've got to get back to remembering what it takes to win college basketball games. And it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of playing together. We've been talking a lot about working together offensively to try to get the best shot, not just maybe the first shot or a good shot, but the best shot we can get. And I thought we did a better job of that against BG. I thought we had many more possessions where we moved the basketball and it looked like the Valpo teams of old, and we got easier shots. And I think we made more of those easier shots. And then there were times where we kind of fell back into taking those quick shots. So, we're just talking about getting back to team basketball and working hard every day and trying to get a lot of these young kids up to speed and ready to go.
Certainly, you've had a lot of success over the last two seasons. When you're in a rough patch, how do you balance maybe being positive enough to make sure things don't get negative around the program with also coaching and coaching your players on what they need to improve? How do you strike that balance as a head coach?
Yeah. Well, we know we're talented players. That's not a question. Our players have not gotten worse. I think they've gotten better. But that's just a starting point. Teams are a team, and it's figuring out how to put that collective group of talent together, again, to work to get the best shots you can offensively, to work together to get stops defensively. And so we're just really talking about that. Like, we're not hitting a panic button. There's no panic button to be hit. This is the toughest schedule that a Valpo team has played since I've been here. We have got really good teams on the schedule, and we've got a bunch of teams that have gotten significantly better since last year. Like we caught the front end of a lot of new coaching staffs last year, and now they're in year 2, they're in year 3, and they're improving. And the teams that we've played are good. And so, I feel that we will be 100% prepared. When we get to conference, we won't be shocked by the level of physicality or how good the teams are in the Missouri Valley. We took the approach last week that all we can do is try to get a little bit better each day. We've got to come in, we've got to work, and we've got to feel like we improved. And then we've still got 4 tests left, right? 4 non-conference games. So we're going to try to improve every single day. And then we're going to go take tests, and then we get to see if we have improved. And we can talk about that and where we need to continue to improve. And then we'll go take our next test. And that was very much the mentality in year 1. And I really do think we're trying to teach a group of individuals how to win with expectations. And that's different. That is a lot different than winning without expectations. And there's a lot more pressure, and kind of helping them through the pressures that they feel. And so that's kind of our challenge. And it's something we've been talking very openly about. And I'm just happy I've got great young women that I get to come to work and coach and teach. And I know they want it. I know they're fighting for it. And that's all we can control. And then we just have to go out and play games and try to get better every single day.
Whether it's an individual or maybe an area of the game, What's been maybe the biggest bright spot, or what's one thing you're proud of so far this season?
I think that over the last couple games, we're seeing some kids step up in leadership roles. Obviously, I think we've shot it better the last 2 or 3 games. And again, I think the big bright spot for me in the BG game was the number of possessions where we really worked together as a group of 5 to get the best shot. And some of those shots went in, some of them didn't. But I think if we can fight for each other to get those shots every single offensive possession, our shooting percentages will go way up. And I thought we had some really good defensive possessions too in that game. So we've just got to put it together and do it every single possession, one after the other, through the course of the year moving forward.
You touched on the strength of the schedule and not only the caliber of the opponents you played, but having to play so many in a row on the road and go to these tough places
Yeah.
to play. What's that been like to go through road game after road game against these quality opponents?
It's been a grind. It has. We've been away from home. We haven't been sleeping in our own bed. There's been some quick turnarounds, but that's all stuff that's going to happen. We're in the middle of a 3-game and 7-day stretch where we have multiple games or multiple stretches like that with the conference moving from Friday, Sunday to a combination of Friday, Sunday, and Thursday, Saturday. So we're getting introduced to what the season's going to look like moving forward, and we're going to be on the road for stretches during conference. And conference is nice because you get into a little bit more of a rhythm because your weeks look the same. The non-conference, your weeks look very different. Sometimes you have a game, then you don't play a game again for 3 games. Conference, we're going to have those weekends, and we're going to have a little bit more structure in our week. And so I'm looking forward to that. But bottom line is I'm looking forward to going to work every day with this team and continuing to fight with this team to get better and to improve. And that's all we can do. We have no control over anything but what we bring to the table every day and how hard we work and just trying to get a little bit better every single day.
This game on Wednesday is a special one for the community and for this area and for the state to have a chance to host Notre Dame. Just what's the significance of that? What does that mean to have the chance to host that program in your arena on Wednesday night?
I mean, I think it's going to be great. I mean, there's kids on this team, obviously from this area, from Indiana, from Chicago, that's got a huge Notre Dame following, that have probably grown up a little bit Notre Dame fans. So to have the opportunity to play against a program with the prestige and the history of the women's program there is going to be a great opportunity for us to see, what a borderline top 25 team looks like. And it'll be a challenge, and they're very good. That's why I was a little late to this, as I was watching film on them. So they're very good, and we're going to go out there and we're going to fight, and we're going to try to play Valpo basketball. And it's a great opportunity. They run some things that some of our teams in our league do offensively. And so I think it's going to be really good for us to see how we can guard that against a team that's extremely talented, and we'll have a good feel for how we're going to be able to guard some of the teams in our league that run some of the Princeton and some of the chin action that they run.
Should be a great atmosphere and a big crowd on Wednesday night. ValpoAthletics.com/tickets for ticket information. It's Valpo and Notre Dame coming up on Wednesday. That's head coach Mary Evans. I'm Brandon Vickery. This has been Valpo Basketball Weekly, and it's brought to you by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.